All right. Okay, we're on. Hello, everyone. It's the Film and Everything Podcast. We finally, hopefully, got our video actually working now. We got a better quality and everything. We've been trying to figure that out for a while. We've been trying to do it, and it's been failing us. But I think we got it all figured out now. It's looking good so far. It's looking great. So, this is the Film and Everything Podcast. We're going to talk It, Chapter 2 tonight. It's going to be a quick one, nothing too crazy. We're just going to talk about that, and then we're going to have another episode maybe later this week or next week. We want to talk Gears 5. We played that over the weekend. That was a lot of fun. Issues with the servers and stuff. But, we'll get into that next week. And we'll just go from there, So, It Chapter 2, I was reading up right now. It's the second highest horror film in box office. Right behind the first It. Which I didn't know that. I didn't know that the first It was the biggest box office for a horror film.
It was.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought maybe it would have been another film, like one of those '80s movies or something like that, or even Halloween. I thought Halloween did pretty well, right?
Thinking it made like 90 million or.
I'm not sure. I could have sworn it had done, but it was pretty big. You had the kid from Stranger Things. What's his name? Finn Wolfhard or something like that. And then, the It one was pretty good. It was, like, really good. The kids were amazing. And It was funny. Now, with this one, it's interesting because the book, it's one book, right? The book, for what it's known for, I think it's known for being split into two storylines, the adult and them as kids. But I think the whole book is them going back and forth in these two timelines, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's constantly going back and forth. So with this one, with It Chapter 1, this one story about them as kids. It Chapter 2, 27 years later, etc., and then how that plays out. I think that's right. I don't know if you heard about that or read about that. Did you hear about that? Like how the book is formatted? I think it is back and forth.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I remember hearing something about that the book itself is critics were talking about, they were interested in how they were going to make these movies when, like, the main key component of the story is where it's going back and forth between their lives as adults and as kids. And it's interesting, and they did it well, I think. Watching both movies, we saw It Chapter 1, we rewatched it the night before, which good thing we did because it's heavy on the callbacks. You got to be ready for it. And then we saw It 2 opening night. Yeah, we saw it opening night, Thursday night. And you can start. What did you think? This movie, by the way, clocks in right under 3 hours. You definitely feel it in this one. I was excited at the fact that it was actually going to be long like that because, they are ending. It's based off a book. I'm sure it's, I think it's over 1,000 pages or something like that, the book. 1,100 pages, if I'm not mistaken. So they were going deep into this book. I mean, Stephen King approves it. He even makes a little cameo and stuff like that. So go ahead. What did you think? It Chapter 2.
It starts off really well. So like it starts off really well. It's a great to bring it back. The only problem that I had with it was the middle. Was that it just drags for so long. Yeah, like the second act. I think that was all this. I don't want to say the whole second act, but I think it's like that second half. That second half of the second act. You know what I mean? It starts off well, and then it starts getting a little repetitive. That's one thing I noticed. It got really repetitive. Yeah, it was kind of like the same thing after a while. But the third act is great. Yeah. But the problem is the second act. It leaves you so kind of like drained, I guess, that when the third act is happening, you're kind of like, oh my god, this movie's still going. Because the third act is pretty long. They don't shortcut it at all. It's long. So you feel the second act kind of dragging a little bit, and then you get an interesting third act, but by then I felt already kind of like this is really, taking a toll on me. And the movie was more of a comedy, surprisingly. Yeah, a lot of people
from what I've been reading up, because we usually rewatch movies to review them, but this one I kind of didn't want to rewatch it again. I think it was just too long. You know what I mean? Now, I sat down, I thought about it over some time and whatever, and we went through it. The first viewing, it's fine. I forgave it. I was like, okay, because you're just going, you're learning as you go, you're enjoying the movie. But now thinking back at it, I mean, even during the movie, I remember thinking, man, this is getting repetitive. Because then they go through one character, what he's doing individually, now the next character. And it's kind of like the same beat for each character. You know, a little something, and then a little flashback of the past, and this and that. And then, all right, next character. Now they're doing the same thing. So that part of it was really repetitive. And that kind of took me away, because the movie does start really strong. I love how it started. I think the cast is really good.
Oh yeah,
Bill Hader is, I think, the best one.
Yeah, no, and Billy, is it Bill or Billy?
Is it Billy for James McAvoy.
Yeah,
yeah, he does good. Jessica Chastain does well.
Yeah, she's always good though.
Yeah, she's always good in everything she's in. What's the funny guy, the kid, the very talkative one?
The medicine.
Yeah, what's the character's name? Is it Bill?
Isn't it?
I think it's Bill.
R.
Richie is Bill Hader.
No, is it?
Yeah, and I think he's Bill.
No, I think Richie is one with the medicine.
Check. You have. Let's double check. I don't want to. I could have sworn it was Bill, and then Richie is Bill Hader's character, which is Stranger Things is Finn Wolfhard. I can't say his last name. I never know. I don't know. I think it is Bill.
No, James McAvoy plays Bill.
Oh, he's Bill.
Bill Hader is Richie.
Yeah.
Oh, Eddie.
Wow, Jesus, we were way off. Eddie. Yeah, of course.
Eddie.
Okay, yeah, keep it open just in case.
And then the fat kid is Ben.
Ben, who has like a 6-pack. It's like
and then you have Stanley.
Glowed up.
Then you have Mike.
Okay. So, Eddie, the kid in the first It was amazing. I mean,
yeah.
He's still. It's crazy how talented that kid is at doing that role. That it can't be repeated. You know what I mean? Like this guy who plays Eddie, the adult version, he was good, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah, but
he was a little odd. Like there's some parts that he was really good. Then there was some parts when he was trying to be like that talkative guy. But I don't know. It's that the kid he's in Shazam, I believe, and all that.
Yeah.
He does so well in the first movie, and maybe it's just that role is meant for a little kid. Maybe it's harder to be like that as an adult.
Yeah.
Maybe. But the kid was just too good that I felt like the adult version just couldn't match up to it.
He has some funny scenes.
He did. You know, he did have some funny scenes and stuff, but compared to just talking wise, the quick comedic, talking, because my inhaler, it wasn't the same as like the kid. The kid was really good, but it could just be that the kid has that, he has that benefit of just being a kid, So it's like a little man, When you kind of see a grown man do it, it's like, oh, like this kind of.
Yeah.
But he does have some great scenes though. I don't think he was terrible or anything. I just think the kid was so good that it's hard to reach that level, but he was definitely close. He was right there.
McAvoy did great with
McAvoy did good.
He did really good. He really sold it.
He did. He did really good. He's always good. He knows how to get veiny.
Like with the stuttering and
stuff.
Yeah.
At first I was a little worried. I was like, man, because stuttering is hard in movies, Because I was a little scarred with what was it, Last Jedi? Whatever that was. I don't know what that was.
No, but he did really good.
He did great.
He did
He sold
really
it.
Good.
Yeah, I felt like if he was that character, which is hard because you get so attached to the kids, then you have to see them as
he's
adults.
Old. James McAvoy's old. He's he has gray hair.
Yeah, he knows how to get veiny. When he's yelling or crying, I don't know how he does it, but he knows what to do with his face that just looks cinematic.
He's good. He's just a great actor. He's a great actor.
Yeah, he's good, man. And Bill Hader, I mean, literally have
He's starting to come up now a lot more.
With Barry.
With Barry, with It. What else? I think he did another. He's always in a lot of comedy movies.
Yeah, but now he's doing more like a little more of the little drama stuff. Like
he's getting bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing like he's kind of branching out.
I have no complaints with his character. How he portrayed.
Let's go haters.
He was the perfect addition. I think I read up that Finn Wolfhard wanted Bill Hader to play him.
Yeah.
Like that was his request.
Yeah.
So Finn knows how to cast. That was great.
And they kind of like look alike.
Yeah, they look alike.
And It 1 and 2, they kind of look alike.
And he's nailed the character, like the lines, and that's the thing. The movie was like great in that sense. A lot of people didn't appreciate the fact that a lot of the scares were CG. People wanted like the more practical stuff. The clown, Pennywise, and stuff like that. People like those moments, but people didn't like too much of the CG elements of the horror.
Like what the?
There's a couple. When she visits the apartment, there's actually a lot. There's a lot of CG horror elements that, CG sometimes can like make or break a movie. If you're seeing too much CG, it takes away.
I guess they did CG because the way it was like those weird movements.
No, yeah, there's just some things that you can't. It's not real. You can't. You know what I mean?
Because it had a little bit of CG, but if you think about it, but the jump scares were kind of in it was just more of Pennywise.
That's what people wanted. You know what I mean? Because one was more about Pennywise haunting the kids, but then in 2.
But again, it's probably like how it is in the book, because
that's the thing. The book, because they were on the dot with the book.
Yeah, because I read up that the book is pretty they're pretty spot on with the book. But
they said that to a fault, that they were too much like the book. That maybe there is issues with the book that people didn't like. That they followed it too much. That they feel like that's why it's 3 hours long. You know what I mean? And it does. They could have condensed certain things in that second act.
I feel like that
when they split up.
That part with McAvoy, when he's talking about because he became like a writer for movies or shows.
Yeah, there's like a little subliminal thing going on there. Yeah.
That whole scene, it really it was kind of like saying how he writes great books, but he doesn't know how to do he does shitty endings.
Which is pretty funny. He always has like shitty endings. I did like how the which could be relating to Stephen King.
Yeah, because I noticed.
But would he approve of that though?
Probably. I'm pretty sure he's like honest about that. Like he's like, yeah, I know I make shitty endings. Like
I don't know I don't know.
No, but I think
The Mist. I know people hated the ending to The Mist.
Oh,
but The Mist was dark.
That's his book.
That's based off his book. I saw the movie. The movie was rough.
I only saw the ending.
Well, yeah. That is a rough ending. Yeah. But I don't know if that's straight from the book. It probably is.
But that's a good.
He's dark like that.
I thought it was a good.
I liked it. Yeah, but for people, for like the average moviegoer, that's tough to. Yeah. So if you haven't seen The Mist, go watch it.
I just said it by mistake. Oops, sorry.
No, they'll see. But that is a rough ending.
I only saw the ending, and I was like, oh damn, it was actually a pretty good.
I saw it when I was younger. I was like, wow, it's like a punch to the gut. I was like, Jesus. Especially when you watch the whole movie, because if you just watch the ending, it's like, oh, okay.
No, but I still liked it. It was
great.
Just the ending.
Yeah,
it was because brutal. It's just different.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that's a little thing of like
Stephen King,
or at least maybe for the It book, because a lot of people
I heard that It has a bad ending.
Yeah, people like It, but they liked it up to the point where it starts like getting to the end and it starts explaining things and how
because this movie gets a little supernatural.
Yeah, he tends to do that though.
And it kind of like threw me off a little bit.
He tends to do that. When I read The Shining, I like The Shining, and it's somewhat supernatural. He shines and he can see things, which is fine. It wasn't too extreme, but then I was trying to read Doctor Sleep, which is the one they're doing now with Ewan McGregor,
the sequel,
which looks good. It looks good. I couldn't really finish the book. I don't know. It got too supernatural, like witches.
The movie's kind of weird.
It looks like the book. That's what I saw. That's what I imagined in the book.
Because they were like witches and killed her.
Yeah, it gets really over the hill. So that's why I was like, ooh, like I couldn't finish the book. I kind of lost interest. The Shining was great though. So he tends to do that a lot.
And I feel like that's what that part kind of like means a little bit, like because they say that joke for a while.
Yeah, throughout a good portion of the movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, a shitty ending, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, even with that scene,
with this guy's in it, the king.
He says
like he asked, "Oh, you want me to like sign your book?" Like, oh no, it has a shitty
ending. Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe it's a little inside joke
that like they made knows, it. Like, yeah. That, you know.
I did like how they introduced all the characters and they're each kind of doing something. You know, like Bill Hader's character is like a comedian. I think Bill, it was the chubby kid, right? Bill? Yeah, it was Bill.
No, Bill was McAvoy.
No, he's Billy, no?
No, he's Bill. He's Ben.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, these names are confusing. Ben. I love how he's like super fit now, and there's some good jokes with that with Bill Hader that he kills it. But I like what they do with it though, like Pennywise using that against him.
I wonder, Bill Hader. I wonder if he did those jokes, like he wrote those jokes.
I'm sure there was some on the spot that he just, you know what I mean? He's a comedian. That's what he does.
Yeah,
he's
so
funny.
I wonder if that was him.
I'm sure. He's good with that stuff. You know. I like what they did with the Ben character because he's like super fit now, and they use it as it's funny. They use comic relief for it.
What's his job? I forgot.
Architect, or something like that. Yeah. And then the movie kind of goes into how he's super fit, but like that self-consciousness of him, and like Pennywise using that against him, like, oh, you're still a little fat boy. So the movie, they didn't just make him fit just to make him fit, you know what I mean? It's like him trying to go through like that, overcome like that insecurity and stuff like that, but then like that fear comes back in the movie, and like that feeling, you know, because that's what Pennywise does in these It books, the It book and the movie, which I liked, you know what I mean? They're adults, but like their fears are a little different now, you know. There's that fear of the past and that fear of, you know, in the first movie it's more just about what do kids fear? Clowns, like a random painting on a wall. What was the other ones?
Diseases with the medicine.
But here it's a little bit more things that you would kind of be scared of as an adult, you know. So things from your past, so I got a little bit more deeper in that sense, which I liked. The third act was interesting. It was good. It felt very climatic, like it was huge, literally huge. But I guess it's a fine ending. It's just like a generic ending, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I kind of felt that way with the Shining book though as well. I feel like he just does like the cliche ending, you know. I don't know. I felt that way with the Shining book. Now the movie kind of nails it different, but Stephen King hates the Shining, like the film, because Stanley Kubrick just did not follow it.
Yeah.
How he was supposed to at all.
Yeah, he did his own thing. He just did his own thing.
Yeah, he did his own thing. This one you can tell like they followed it to a fault, you know, to the point where it was maybe they shouldn't have followed it that much, you know, because that second act slows you down. And it's hard to get back in it after that, you know, because you feel so drained at that point. Third act is good. The ending is fine, you know. I do like the relationships with the kids and even the adults, you know, like that story about, you know, just like friendships, like they haven't seen each other in 27 years, but then kind of coming back and meeting each other, like getting, you know, catching up. And I felt the relationship between the characters for sure. And even with the ending and everything, I actually thought it was nice. It kind of gets you in those feels of like, you know, those childhood friendships and stuff like that. Even if you haven't seen each other in forever or differences, how I think it tackled that really well. It's just that second act is where, if this movie was just shorter, if they just took out a little bit of that and condensed it a little bit, you know, because I don't think they had to go through each one of those things. They could have found a way to.
The middle part kind of kills the movie a little bit.
Yeah, maybe like detour from the book a little bit and find a way to just kind of
have them condense it. Do it all at once.
Yeah, because at this point in the second act, all the characters split up, and they each go through
for like a relic.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil it, you know, in case you guys haven't seen it. But yeah, they have to go on these quests individually, and it's a lot of characters. There's like 5 different quests, and we were looking at every single one,
like one by one.
And they each had the same beat. You know, like a little jump scare, a little this. I was like, okay, it got really repetitive. And at one point I was like, dude, like, can we? And then it goes into the third act. You know?
Yeah.
So it's really obvious, and everybody's saying the same thing. Everybody's saying, yeah, it felt a little too long. A little too long, because it starts off great. The characters catching up, what they're up to. When Bill Hader shows up, I mean, that's it. Like, I was in for it.
Yeah, and Pennywise, is that, like, he's in it?
Not that much, yeah.
But he doesn't really do much.
I wonder why. I feel like maybe they're not as much scared of him anymore, but now they're more scared of, like, their past and things that still haunt them. You know what I mean? Beverly, right? Mm-hmm. The things that scare her, it's more things of her past. You know, like little things. So they're not necessarily as scared of the clown anymore, because they're older and they've defeated him before. And I think, like, Pennywise knows that, and, like, you know, it's just based off whatever you're fearing at that moment. So that's what makes the movie interesting. I understand that. But it does suck not seeing that much of it. You know, he shows up. He shows up in this movie, like.
No, he has some good scenes.
He has cool scenes. Yeah, there's one in the trailer. A trailer shot of him with the balloons and stuff.
That one.
That was a great shot.
And the ending of that trailer when he catches the little bug thing.
Mhm. Yeah, that was a good one. The movie's still brutal. I mean, from the opening scene, I was like, Jesus, like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, because
that's big. That opening scene, like, it got some controversy, but
yeah, because
I don't see why.
Because I was reading up on it. That's a big part in the book, because what makes it come back, because I think the way he comes back is from. Well,
keep going. It does it for 30 minutes. Let me see if it comes back on.
What?
No, it was just all right, go ahead.
What I was reading, because what I read up was that scene is what makes it come back, because he comes back when there's like a brutal thing that happens. If it's like, I guess it's like a.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I think he was already back because it was 27 years later. But I think that opening scene was just to, again, just give you more.
Because I saw some people were tweeting about it, and I said
Does he drive people crazy or something?
Yeah, because what is that, like, when something, because that's a big crime.
That's like maybe he he doesn't possess them, but he starts driving people a little crazy.
No, because
the town gets kind of like stirred up or something.
Yeah,
you know?
I guess so. Because I guess when that happens, the
town gets like tense.
Yeah, so he comes back.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I think he kind of like controls everyone a little bit. Because that town's
Look
like
what he does with the bully from the first one. The mullet.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of similar.
So that scene is kind of like, because you can't have them beat up a normal couple.
Yeah, so this is the issue. The opening scene, there's a gay couple, two guys at a fair, which I thought the scene was perfectly fine. It wasn't pushy. It completely natural scene. I was like, okay, you see, like that. I remember watching. I told myself, like, that's a good example of just letting it fly. You know what I mean? At first, I was like, okay, who's this character? What's going on? And then they just you eventually find out. Oh, okay, he's with a guy. They kiss. I was like, okay, they're gay. Whatever. Who cares? And the scene goes. Now, what's going on Twitter is I saw that Geeks and Gamers talked about it. He spoke well on it. It makes perfect sense. Someone I guess in the LGBTQ community, they were complaining that was in the movie because it's like condoning violence for that community. That just doesn't make any sense. I think this is actually the best example of equality in a movie. You're watching a horror movie, and how many times have you seen a straight couple get killed? Literally every single horror movie. Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. They're getting it on, right? They're doing their thing. They die. They're actually giving you that representation. Like, it's just, and this is already in the book, by the way. So this is not even like, it's the source material from the book, and they kept it that way.
Yeah, because I think that's how it starts.
Like, that's literally, because they followed this book from beginning to end. And I actually think that's how much more equal representation can you get?
No, and that's and one thing that I was reading up to what people were saying was, okay, like you need to make it seem that this town is shitty. Like this is a shitty town.
Yeah. And they're racist in the first one. They're racist. They're homophobic. It's like every single like bad quality you can have in the town. And that's why people hate the town.
Yeah, and that's what they have to show.
It makes you hate the characters more. It's like, shit, that's a shitty thing to do.
I think that is what kind of leads to it to come back, because that's a, like, I had to find it again. I forgot what they said.
His energy is around already. You can feel it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what he tends to do. So I don't see any problem with that scene. I thought that's actually a well-done, equal,
like, it was a
equality.
Good scene because, like, when he's in the water, and you see it.
Yeah, no, the scene is well done. Like, it's just, I thought that was well done. It's like what Geeks and Gamers was saying. It's like, well, at this point, you just want special treatment. You want to be represented as, equal. Here's a horror movie with a gay couple, and okay, shit happens to them. It's a shitty town. Pennywise tends to do this in this town. The people are homophobic. Like, that's how it was at that time, And it makes you, it works. It makes you hate the characters more. It's like, damn, fuck this town. That's a shitty town. I don't see how that's actually that's fair game for me. I don't see how it's not a whole movie bashing on the community. It's literally just, hey, here's a gay couple. These people are homophobic. They got beat up. How many times do you see the Ben, who was chubby in the first one, picking on the fat kid? They were calling him fat boy. I didn't hear anything about fat kids around the world being upset. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't see how that would be a controversy at all. I just don't. At that point, it's true. I agree. It's that you just want special treatment at this point. But that's the most equal.
It's from the book.
That's the most equal thing you're going to get in a movie, because here's a horror movie where people are going to die. And, you're represented within that story as it would be. You know what I mean? It's a horror story. I mean, but the same people were complaining about too much blood, too much stabbing, too much. It's like, you're complaining about a horror movie. That's what's going to be in a horror movie.
Just don't watch the movie.
Yeah. So, and they were saying how it's disgusting. I was like,
What? No, it's not.
No, just like the fact that they did that. But,
and
the first thing I said when I saw that scene and I saw that stuff, I was like, was it in the book?
It was.
And I looked it up. It's in the book. It's
the
part of the story.
Only thing that they changed was that orgy or something? Or
that was,
I'm not gonna show that.
There was like a scene of the kids having an orgy. This guy was dark.
Yeah. Obviously not gonna show that crap.
I don't know, man. I thought it was fine.
And they had a problem with Jessica Chastain's with that scene when she's leaving.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll talk about that now. We'll go into spoilers. I think we're going into spoilers.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, we'll give our final. So, all right. Did we miss anything else? I mean, soundtrack is good.
Yeah.
Acting is great.
Yeah.
The story is good. It's a little generic. But it's not like in a bad sense. It's just like a classic Stephen King, whatever. It's just that middle act.
I feel like
takes a lot of weight.
With how much they had to talk about, I think they did a great job.
Yeah, with following the book and how much had to be covered, because you look at this film and you look at the first one is nothing. The first one is just a little setup.
Yeah, but the reason why they had to break it in two was because the first one, because I think people like the first one so much more, is that it's more grounded.
It's simpler. It didn't get into the lore. It didn't get into.
It's just a group of kids getting haunted by a creepy clown.
Yeah.
If it didn't, it's a simple story. But this one now they have to explain the backstory and what's happening.
Literally the whole mythology behind it. The first movie was just a straight up
horror film.
Comedy horror film.
Yeah. So, but this one they really had to, and the guy who plays Pennywise is great.
No, yeah.
I saw a video today on
scary
Looper,
stuff, man.
On Looper, and the actor, I forgot the name. The actor's name was like Bill. Has a weird. He
has a long last name.
He has a weird last name, and he was saying that on set that he actually on the first It, that they actually kept him away from the kids.
To make it
Yeah, so
the kids are scared of him.
Yeah, so when they'll do the scene, they'll be scared of him. He said that on set that they'll actually start crying. He said that one of the kids started crying, and the guy said like, "Go, like action," and the kid was crying because he was so scared. Because he was saying that how this role took a lot out of him. Okay, he said that he had to be like
dark,
like 100% all the time. He said he was so drained. Okay, he said that he couldn't slack. Like he had to be 100% focused every scene.
That's intense.
He said that he said that on set he was kind of like not the best to be around. He said that because he was in character all the time, like he was in that zone.
That picture with him and Bill Hader is funny though.
Yeah, because he said that when they'll say action, he wouldn't care if the kids are crying or not. He would just go.
That's what they want. That's what you gotta get.
And he was being like just full on. Yeah, he did really good.
Yeah.
He said that it took him a while, like to really break out of that character a little bit.
He just stayed as Pennywise.
Yeah, he said that after It 1, he had like two like vivid dreams.
That's
and it was a Pennywise. Yeah.
Jesus.
He said that, like,
he just stays as Pennywise.
Yeah, then he said that like in It 2, like he was able to like just get back very easily.
I'm sure he was more in the first film too, so maybe that's why it was so much harder.
Yeah, maybe because It 1 he was like
he went at it. Yeah.
That must be like a weird.
Chapter 1 with that when they get Georgie's arm. That was one of the best things I've seen, like experience wise, because I was like, did they really just go there? And that was the best start to the movie. You see the kid crawling, screaming for help. Very brutal, yeah.
And then when I first saw it in theaters, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, literally.
I was like, oh, okay.
That was ballsy.
Yeah, because I only saw like the first trailer, which was like nothing.
Yeah, a normal trailer.
But then when I saw the movie, I was like, oh shit, this is actually like bloody and.
No, they did well. They did well. I do think one passes. It's superior to the second, but it's not the second's fault. It drags a little bit, but it's just the story of what it is. At that point, it's just on the book. That's why the last attempt that they tried doing this into, film format they did a miniseries.
With who?
I don't know. It was a miniseries. They said it wasn't that good. I can see it being a miniseries. It makes sense, but
it's better as a movie.
Yeah. Now, because we see it, I would give this one. I'm at a 7. I'm like at a 7, maybe a low 8. I'm kind of like at a 7.
So what? Like,
that middle act dragged too much for me. We gotta
establish our numbers.
7 is average. 7 is like good. It's a.
Or what do you go by?
No, I'm not gonna go by Angry Joe's. That to me doesn't. I don't follow that.
A 5.
I think of it as like if you took a test. What's a C? A C average. It's like okay, it's like passable. Like it's it's good, but it's an average. It's average. I can't average for me wouldn't be a 5. That to me I think of an F. You know what I mean? Like that's a 50%. A C definitely is like it's good. It's
I'll probably give it a 7 because it's that middle. Because it starts off great. Takes away. And the part that kind of brings you back a little bit is in that fair, the carnival, and the
third act. Yeah.
No, it's the start of the third act.
Yeah, start of the third act when it passes those. Which we'll talk about in spoilers, but
I'll give it a 7.
I'm at a 7 as well.
What would you give the first one?
7's like a good 8.
No, for first 8.
For the first one, it's like a good 8. I don't know if I'll go 9. I don't know because it's scary, but maybe it could have been scarier. I think the first one's like an 8. We did rewatch it. I wasn't as focused in. I did enjoy it a lot the first time I saw it. It was the theater experience was good. But I don't know if I can give it a 9. I don't know. What would you give it? You're thinking a 9?
I was gonna give it a 9 because the first It.
It's a great movie,
because the comedy was really good. The cast, those kids did great. Yeah. It was creepy. It was very brutal just by the start of the movie. And the scenes were just very good.
I just felt like certain things, it could have been scarier with certain things,
But I don't know if I'll give it.
It's at a good 8 for me.
Yeah,
it's at a
I
good
guess I'll
8.
give it like an 8.
Because I'm thinking a 9, but I don't know if I could see it as a 9. It was good. It was funny.
Pennywise was great.
He was great. There was something
like pacing or
I don't know what it is, because we did rewatch it. I was like, oh, it's good. It's funny. I felt like it was missing something. Maybe the horror elements. Maybe if the big opening scene was great. And
the first that old lady
looks very similar to the one here. Yeah.
Yeah, because now that scene with Ben in the first he's reading that book. That lady...
I do like those subtle moments that they use.
Yeah, because if you don't pay attention to the background, that old lady was staring at Ben, but was smiling.
Yeah, I like those moments where they use...
she was, smiling.
Like, the background for, subtle little scares to creep you out. I like that. If you catch it, great. If you don't, then you didn't catch it. But if you do see it, it's like, oh, my God. They did that in the second one as well. It was in the trailer when she pokes her head out. Pokes her head back in. The first one for me is definitely, a good 8. I don't know... I'd have to watch it one more time or something, but really watch it. The kids are good. I think it was just it wasn't as scary to me. I think that if it was scarier, if it was if some of the scare scenes were, for my taste, shot a little differently or something. The Pennywise stuff is great. He just pops out. And he's like, oh, that was funny. For example, when Eddie passes by the house and it's the zombie thing. There's some things that's could have been, But the Pennywise stuff, it's a good 8. Yeah, I'd have to rewatch it to think it over again. But I'll give it a good 8. And the second one, yeah, it's a 7. I don't know. It was good. I had a good time watching it and everything. That second act. Well, we'll get into it now in spoilers real quick, just to discuss that second act, what we thought of the ending and stuff. Yeah, let's just do it now, right? So we both give it 7s, and we both give the first one 8s.
Yeah.
Since we never reviewed it at the time. Okay, guys, we're gonna go into spoilers right now. If you haven't seen the movie, don't continue because you're gonna get spoiled. Unless you don't care, then that's fine too. So spoilers are gonna go on right now. So, 3, 2, 1, get out, get out, get out. If not, you can stay. So, what do you want to start with first?
I guess the middle, right?
Should we just talk about the second act? Let me see. The movie starts great. I love the dinner scene with them catching up. I thought that was awesome. Everything up to the point where... what's his name? Stanley?
Yeah.
Explains the whole backstory of what just happened. And then...
the ending? About the ending?
No. Leading to the second act. When he explains everything to Bill. And then that's when they have to split up. Because he tells them, alright, we each have to get our own item.
Wait, Stanley?
Who's the guy that knows...
Mike.
Oh, his Mike? Who's Stanley? The one that dies, right?
Yeah, the one that dies.
Let's talk about that real quick.
2 seconds in the movie.
Stanley, you see him, and I didn't see this coming, kills himself in the bathtub when he gets the call to go and help these guys out. I was a little confused with the ending because he did that on purpose, knowing that it was going to bring them together. I don't know if I like that.
I have to, honestly,
That's a little cheesy.
I might have to rewatch the movie.
Yeah, because that part left me kind of confused. I was like, wait, so he did that knowing...
Because he killed himself, because it's what they said, Bill Hader's because he's the weakest one.
Yeah.
But again, but could that have been Pennywise?
But no, that's the thing.
No, because it was that virus thing.
Yeah, I get that. And it's him being the weakest one, and it just kind of took him over.
It took him over, that's
But
why.
then he had a letter at the end. That's what I'm talking about. The letter saying, I did it because I knew it would bring you guys together.
I don't remember what he says.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, he did that. So, I guess to give him more heroism, I don't know if I like that. I think it should have been this shit is serious. It took over Stanley because he's the weakest one. Pennywise, whatever that virus was got to him. But for it to be yeah, I did this because
Man,
I could be wrong.
I have to see that scene again.
But you know what I'm talking about, right? There was like a letter from Stanley.
Yeah, with that letter, but I forgot what it says.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. I could be wrong though. If that's what it was, I didn't like it. I remember I was like, what? Like, it was good the way it was. Like, it made it dark. Like, Stanley killed himself because it just got to him. That's it. Like, it raised the stakes, you know. With that, the movie continues. They find out he's dead, which I thought was a great scene after the dinner and all that. Good humor. The second act, when you said Mike, they each have to send off, because everything was great to that point. I think they got Stanley's hair, like head cap, shower cap.
Yeah, that's just like the relic quest.
That was a great scene. I was like, I was really enjoying the movie to that point. Then Bill Hader's character says that, why do we have to split up? Why don't we just do it together? I was like, come on, stay together. They each have to do it individually and get their own item that means something to them from their past. So then we have to go through Beverly, that was a good scene. That was well shot. Where she used to live with her abusive dad. Which I found it weird that her husband in this movie is abusive as well.
Because never when they left the town, they lost all their memory.
Oh, so she doesn't even remember that. Yeah, I found that not confusing, but interesting as well.
Because the town is cursed, so it's what Mike said. The further you live, the more you just forget.
So that to her was just
So when they came back, they're like what is it? Bill with the stuttering came back. Beverly was with her. I forgot what. Eddie is Bill Hader, right?
Eddie is him
asthma kid. Him with the asthma. And he started the asthma.
Yeah.
So they all their fears were kind of coming back. To them.
Yeah. At first I was like, whoa, like what? I didn't, because it didn't really go into it too much. You just had to figure it out on the way.
It's kind of simple.
But they don't you kind of figure it out along the way. Like, oh, so wait, they're not remembering.
Because at first I was confused because the town was cursed because of it.
So that makes sense, okay, because, man, that sucks, man. She just keeps getting these abusive figures in her life.
But then when she came back, she,
it started coming together, when they go off into their separate things, Beverly goes back to where she used to live. That's where she meets the old woman who is the daughter of Pennywise.
Is that what it is?
Her dad was a clown, and it was him, and she was kind of I don't know what she turned into, a giant naked old lady. Which was kind of funny, but that was a scary scene. I liked. I didn't think it was gonna be that. And the hallway
was great with him, with no makeup.
Yeah, that was a great scene. I love that. I was like, okay, that was the first one, I think. Then we got James McAvoy.
Was it?
No, I think they put the main characters they separate them a little bit. Then we got I think Bill Hader, which his was good but kind of quick.
Yeah, but because his thing was that his secret was that he was gay.
Yeah, they didn't go into it in the movie. But in the book, from what I've heard, is that he's gay. Because I was wondering, Pennywise kept saying, "I know your secret," that which was a great scene with him with the balloons and stuff. But I wasn't what was his secret? I didn't really catch on to that in the movie.
It did with the flashback, with the coin.
With him playing the arcade with that kid.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up.
Yeah, but the way
vibes.
I picked it up he liked the kid kind of.
I thought it was just making a friend.
No, because the Finn his acting changed a little bit in that scene.
He got
a little bit more
I didn't catch it at all.
No, I caught on.
I just thought he was he had just broke up with his friend,
No, I caught on like the vibe with that scene. I know because the acting changed a little bit.
Yeah, he was kind of nervous.
Yeah, and then when they were calling him
on
gay,
a date, kind of nervous,
Yeah, and when they started calling him gay and this and that, he started getting
Yeah, that threw me off. Cause the bully, his cousin, the kid's cousin's oh, were you trying to, dick down my cousin, bro, whatever. And I thought it was just a cousin just trying to be yeah, what's up with this guy? I didn't take it literally that wait, he's gay. I didn't think that. I thought they were just being bullies. You know what I mean? I thought they were just being oh, dude, what the hell? I thought he was just trying to hang out, and I took it more as he was just trying to make another friend. But the town is so shitty Like all he really has is the friends that he had before.
Maybe, but
that's how I took it.
Because the way
I guess he's just gay.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong.
But it reminds me of Pop Star, Never Stop Popping. Not gay, not gay, not gay. I don't know. I didn't see that at first. Maybe that was a
secret, but like, I don't know.
No, I'm sure that's what a secret is because I saw that's what it is in the books and stuff. I did not pick that up at all. I was curious. I wanted to know.
That's what I got.
Yeah, clearly that's what it is, but I didn't see that.
But maybe I was wrong. I don't know.
No, that's what it is in the books.
Oh,
he's gay. Yeah, I just didn't see that in the movie. Maybe they could have hinted it a little bit more. I didn't see that at all. I thought he was literally just trying to make a friend because he just broke up with the group and he was pissed and he was playing. He's like, "Oh, I'm having a good time," and then the kid turned on him and was like, "Oh, what the hell?" And they're just bullying him. He's like, "Oh, fuck this," And I thought it was just like my real friends are these guys.
Yeah,
that's how I took it. Just because I remember, we had just saw the first one and stuff. But I don't know. So we get him, then we get Ben. The Ben one was alright with the hallway. Like, each scene, it was the same formula. We get Beverly, she goes back to a place of her past. She goes through a scary flashback. And then she gets the artifact and she leaves. Then we go to James McAvoy. He goes back to his past. Strange flashback, scary flashback. He gets the item and goes. It's like a game. It's like a Gears of War game or something where you got to do the same thing until everybody's done.
I think the only one that I liked was Beverly.
The main characters, Bill Hader, James McAvoy was pretty good.
Because Pennywise was in it.
Yeah, James McAvoy was pretty good, I think, too. With the kid and the bike.
Yeah, when he grabs, he puts
But then after a while, then we got Ben, then we got Eddie, and I was like, oh, I'm done. Eddie's was weird.
He was kind of shitty.
Yeah. So we had to go through each and every character. And then they go back to the house. And then I liked how they handled the scenes when they were coming back. And they were just like, they didn't want to talk about it. I think Ben came back. No, it was Eddie came back. And then he's like, I'm going upstairs. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, he was all full vomit.
Yeah. And then Bill Hader came back. And he was like, I don't want to talk about it. So that was funny. But it just wasn't worth going through all of that. Because Eddie's was kind of boring. I didn't like it. Ben was whatever. So we had to go through each of that formula.
Ben, that was a good, that could have been cool. I mean, it was kind of shitty because I thought that was the real girl saying that to him.
No, I knew right away. I was like, she would never say that. I knew it. No,
I just never know.
No,
but that was his fear.
Exactly.
Being,
yeah, and that's why he lost so much weight.
Yeah.
So it just took too long. At that point, I was checked out. I was like, oh, this is too long. Can we? Can they get back together already?
What brings you back is with Bill. He has to go save the kid that he told earlier. That
sets off the third act, yeah.
And that scene was great.
But then after that, it was hard to get. I was back in. I was like, okay, this is good. But I was already kind of drained from because if you think about it, this movie.
Wait, but the thing is, it's only that scene, the relic part.
Yeah, think about it. That portion is easily 30 minutes, 35 minutes,
40 minutes.
Yeah, maybe. Think about it. Let's say 5-10 minutes each character.
But that was if they shortened that, this movie could have been a 9.
Yeah, it would have been really good.
Or even an 8.
It would have been better for sure. Because think about it. Let's say 10 characters, 10 minutes for each character. That's 40 minutes or so.
What they should have done was change. Don't go straight from the book. Change it a little bit. Have them do it all at once.
Or where you're kind of seeing it at the same time, so that you save some time, but not one by one.
Man, it's 5-10 minutes.
I think they did it because we can get some good scares here, but it wasn't even scary at that point.
I did like the scene with Pennywise kills that little kid, the little girl.
That was good.
Like on the bench.
Pennywise stuff is great, but I'm talking about
the firefly.
When they're getting the relics. Beverly's was good. That one they took their time on it. You can tell they started off well. And then they're like, okay, the rest of the characters, we gotta let's think of something. I didn't like Eddie's or Ben's. And the thing is, that takes up, let's say, 30, 40 minutes, and then you're back. Then they meet up, and it's funny again. And then you go into the third act, that's another 30 minutes or something. The third act is long, and it's not bad. But
you're just
that second act drains you, man. Yeah. That's the thing. And then it leads to the ending.
Which I don't get.
I like the whole Pennywise as a giant. I thought that was scary. I thought that was creepy and, what else? I don't know how I felt about the actual ending. I thought they were going to die at one point. When the thing doesn't work, the ritual, I was like, are they all going to die? I thought that was something that, but no, I should have known, that would have been crazy though.
I thought they were, gonna die.
Yeah, that all that was great. I liked the Richie and Eddie stuff. Like, Richie, like Eddie dying. Thought that was interesting, and then like Richie, because he's always been such a smartass the whole movie, and then he finally, it just hits him, like Eddie's dead, and all that. I thought that was a good scene. Bill Hader crying is interesting too. He has like a funny face.
That's not his.
But he did well. Like, I don't know, like that hit me. I was like, oh, he's dead. You know what I mean? Because then Richie and him were always back and forth. I thought that was great. But I don't know. They defeat him by pretty much bullying him back.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw all the memes for that. Like it wouldn't last in a Call of Duty lobby.
Oh yeah, because he's like shrinking.
Yeah, like in a Call of Duty lobby, he'll be destroyed.
Yeah, I thought that was fine. I get it, like for the theme of the book and stuff. But
what? So they just bully him and he.
Yeah, tell him how like not scary he is, and that's like his fear of not being scary or something, or being less than.
But he turns into a what?
I don't even know, like this baby flat thing. He just shrinks into nothing.
Like a flat ass.
Yeah, flat ass. Yeah, like a wrinkly ass, and then.
And they pour.
Then it's over.
Out.
Yeah, and then they.
Yeah, I think I read something that one people didn't like was that like he kind of like respected the kids a little bit. Like he was kind of like.
In what sense? Like in the ending?
Like yeah, like when he was like in that final form, when he's just like little and they're like, I don't know, I forgot what
he gave a look or something.
Yeah, I don't know, I forgot.
He wouldn't like that.
Yeah, because I think they changed that from the book.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would make sense if he just like died in like agony, like oh you fuckers.
No, because I think his final form was different in the book, right? Wasn't it like an ant?
I'm not sure. I haven't read the books. We'd have to like watch a video on it.
Because I think they changed the final form. I think, right?
Probably.
Because I read something that they did, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
But what
the ending is fine. It's like generic. They crush him. He's dead, and then. Is that 30 minutes already? Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they crush him. He's dead. That's it. But now they actually like they don't forget when they leave.
Yeah, because that's like one of the themes too. Like
because the curse,
your past is what makes you, or something like that.
Yeah, because the curse is gone.
Yeah.
In the town.
Nice ending. He
it's
has
very happy. Yeah.
It's very happy. It's like a generic ending.
I like the scene with the blood.
I love the scene with when the bully comes back from the asylum. And he's like, dude, cut the mullet, man. It's been 30 years. Yeah, that was funny. Even though he got stabbed in the mouth. That was crazy. And he just like
30 fucking years, man.
Shaved the mullet. And like he got stabbed in the mouth. I thought it was fake or something. And then no, like he just got stabbed. And I guess you could get stabbed here. And
oh yeah, it just hurts like hell.
Yeah.
But
that was a funny scene.
I'm pretty sure you can like I don't know.
Yeah, that was funny. He's like coming out. He was like, guys, that was good. Yeah. That's the thing. The movie's good. It's just that middle act that it bores the hell out of you.
Of the like the love story.
I was a little confused by that. I didn't think that Beverly was gonna get with Ben. Because that kiss with Bill and stuff, and they really amped up the romance in the first movie.
Because the memory thing.
You know what? The theme of this, if you're chubby and you can't get the girls, get the 8-pack. Get the 8-pack, do your hair, get some facial hair. Yeah. You'll be good to go.
And you get the hot girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she thought it was Bill that kissed her at the end.
Was.
No, it was Ben.
No, at the end of it, one?
Yeah, when
she kissed Bill.
When she got taken over by it.
She got taken over by it.
Remember when it grabbed her and did that weird little...
Oh, that's the kiss she was talking about? Yeah, I thought she was thinking of the kiss with Bill.
Because during that moment, she saw the future. She saw all them dying.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot about that. I don't know. I thought her and Bill were good. And they kind of, they were kind of teasing it a little bit, and then not really.
But even in it one, they were teasing it. Like Ben always looking.
Yeah. I'm going to get that ass in 20 years.
Yeah, like
yeah, no.
Oh, he still has like that note she did.
Yeah.
On his yearbook.
Yeah, I guess that was supposed to be like that twist, right?
Yeah.
I knew for a fact, like, okay, she ran away from the abusive husband. All right, like she's getting. I thought it was Bill, but I guess that would have been kind of like cliche or something.
Yeah, because it was always Ben.
Yeah, and Bill kind of like was happy about it too. When they're in the water, he was like,
"He didn't give a fuck anymore.
Go get him, son. Go get him."
Yeah.
But yeah, is that it? Are we missing anything else? I think that's it. The grandma scene was good. She just runs out naked. She's a giant.
I like the bathroom.
Are you?
I like the scene with the little kid. You can tell they filmed those scenes right after It won.
Oh, I don't know. Supposedly, like, people were complaining about the CG on Finn. And I kind of noticed the cheeks of Ben a little different.
It was CG'd.
Like, it looks like they CG'd him still being fat. Or something, you know what I mean? Because he kind of looked like thinner. He had like big cheeks. But then they look like LeBron, Taco Tuesday. And then Finn looked young, but he kind of looked different. And they were saying people were complaining about the CG on that. That supposedly people were able to notice, but people like to complain about things, so I don't know.
I didn't know CG.
I was just. It had me thinking, like, is that from right after It won, or did they CG this a little bit, or they kind of shot it differently? They didn't show their whole bodies. They kind of like kept it up top. So maybe they did just fool us a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Another thing I wanted to mention before we end it, this movie without the flashbacks would be a lot less. You know what I mean? I saw an article on it. Think of the movie without the flashbacks of the kids, because even the flashbacks with the kids, they steal the show. Like, they're awesome. Imagine this film not having the flashbacks.
Man, that
there's not much going on.
That girl's good, man.
Yeah,
she's
who
in
plays
Sharp
Beverly?
Object. She plays a young version of Amy Adams.
Yeah, she looks just like both of them, man.
Yeah,
she's really good.
It's weird.
If you take out the flashbacks in this movie, there's not really much that happens. It's just pretty straight. But the flashbacks give you that. You know what I mean? It does help the movie a lot. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, because you noticed the bully, the from It One, he looked taller.
The bullet guy, yeah.
He looked taller in his flashback.
Yeah, he looked older. You know?
He looked older.
Yeah, so.
But luckily, he still looked the same.
Yeah. They put on that mullet and he's good.
Yeah, he was still in shape, so he was fine.
Yeah.
Because he looked the same, but just taller.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. Is it?
The final act is great.
It's generic ending. It was good though. It's a 7 for sure.
But the part with McAvoy when he was in the water, and Georgie was like.
Yeah, they did good there. They had like a stuttering battle. Him and his younger self.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
That was good. And
the carnival man when he kills the kid in front of him.
Yeah, that was brutal. I like that. I like those scenes. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care too much about that little crawling head thing that they stab. Remember in the house when they enter the house?
Oh yeah.
Eddie's like, he freaks out. I didn't care too much about that. At that point, I was like, oh, because the jump scares. The thing is, we got so many jump scares in that second act that we hated. That when you get more jump scares after that, you're drained. Like, okay, I don't care about the jump scares. It was like kind of like repetitive. So again, the second act is what really hurts the movie.
Yeah.
Because then the third act would have been better because of it, you know. But
the bathroom was good too. The bathroom.
Yeah, that was a great scene. That was the most blood used in film ever. Something like that. You know, she's just drowning in that thing. That's crazy. That was a good scene. That was cool. Beverly.
I didn't get the point of them kissing underwater.
She just wanted to do it discreetly, like his own little secret, you know? It makes sense. That's something her character would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I always...
Like, finally.
I never get the point of that in movies. That
dirty water.
I always find it, so corny.
Yeah.
Like, they just try to be, like cinematic. Because, this is, like...
Again, the movie itself is kind of, like, cliche. You know, it has, like, that 80s, or... I don't know. It has, like, a...
But it was still a good movie.
It was good. No, I'm not complaining about it. I thought it was good.
But the thing
Ben got her. He got her 20 years later.
Practical. What can he do that's practical?
The things that they wanted to show you can't make it practical. You're gonna make a giant old lady.
No, but like when he kills someone.
I mean, he is practical for the most part, but there are scenes that what are you gonna do? You're gonna Give him a real mouth. All right, guys. I think we're done, right? I don't know if we got anything else. We always hit an hour in the reviews. I feel like we really flush through the movie. You know, 30 minutes. I always feel like it's just not enough.
Yeah, because the beginning is just the
phone calls, introducing each character, and one gets in a car crash. Bill Hader throws up. All that is good.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it. Another thing, I guess it makes sense why they didn't talk for 27 years, because their memory was fading away. They're like, oh, wait, we were friends, So, again, it all kind of like, you catch on. All right, guys. That's the end of our review for It Chapter 2. Feel free to let us know what you thought, on our Instagram, email, whatever you guys want. Any topic suggestions or questions or anything like that, just email us, and, we'll be more than happy to answer them, talk about it, whatever you guys want to do. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening, whichever one you're doing. And goodbye. Thank you.